And we're here, everybody. How are we doing? It's Monday. Back to the normal work week. Ooh, sorry. For most people. And how's everyone had? Has everyone had a good day? I know it was pretty good for me. Got a lot of stuff done at work. Doing normal stuff, normal things, right? Reading the news. All of those great things. I forget to turn that off every time. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. It's fixed. It's fixed. It's a real quick fix. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to have that. It happens at least once, okay? Actually, it happens. Golden, you can stop now. I already fixed it. Y'all need to hit that live button. All right. Let's see. How's everyone? Yes, weekends are too short for a lot of people. I agree with that one. Surprisingly, well, actually, unsurprisingly, there wasn't much news going around because the news has just been inundated by everything that happened at the White House event. So there's all of that. Yeah, we're back. I don't like saying that one. I don't like saying that it's a distraction. It did happen. That is true. But I find it funny that the Department of Justice, in response to what occurred, sent a letter to National Trust, the conglomerate that was suing the White House and Trump over the ballroom. Sent them a letter demanding that, in light of recent events, you should be dropping your suit against Trump and this administration for the ballroom to continue, because it's so necessary for his safety to have the ballroom put together and put up. Well, National Trust said, haha, no, because it's not. See, what people forget is that when the judge ruled that the construction needed to stop for the ballroom, he made it clear in a statement that they could continue the underground construction. So everything that would be making the bunker that Trump has been talking about and everything, that can continue. Also, during his whole speech, he said the White House is the most secure place for him. So if that's the case, you don't need a ballroom. If it's the most secure, you don't need anything additional because it's already secure. Sorry, I'm just pointing out the errors in his logic. Sorry about that, guys. I need to get that open. It's open now. Let's see. There we go. I don't think he is, Glitch. I don't think he actually is concerned about that. So there is that part. I am not making that claim at all, Arts. I refuse to do anything like that. I don't do that. That's funny. I'm just saying that it's not necessary. He contradicts himself. His Department of Justice contradicts everything that he says. Caroline Leavitt's the only one that upholds everything. It's just the oddest stuff. But I will say, like, congrats to this administration. They have a lot of spouses are pregnant right now. I didn't know that Stephen Miller's wife was pregnant. Katie Miller, I believe her name is. So that was interesting to see and find out. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I mean, good for them. Good for them. You know, they want to have kids. Good for them. But I just didn't realize how many of them are pregnant. It's so odd. Blake, well, you're welcome to call into the number and ask the question. I don't respond to random people in the chat, so all three mentioned around the same time. So I know Levitt is due next month, and I'm looking forward to her being on maternity leave and potentially not coming back. I don't know if that's what will happen or not. It's just a thought. It's just a thought I have, right? That she might not come back if she goes on maternity leave. So it just kind of happens. So Joey, actually, if you look at the scenes beforehand, when everything was occurring where they thought shots were actually being fired before they were told to evacuate, he didn't. He was actually being very protective of her. It was kind of just bad in that one shot, like that one camera image, and that's fine. So I won't actually say that. As much of a POS I believe Stephen Miller is, he actually tried to, keep her safe. Ooh, mnemonic. Thank you. I don't have that open in the right spot. Sorry about that, guys. There we go. Thank you so much for being a 7-month sub. Phone lines are now open. I did leave them off for a moment because I forgot to pull them up. So that's my bad on that one. So working bum, like Caroline Levitt has been clear previously about her statements on women and taking maternity leave or needing time off after having a kid, and has bragged about the fact that when she had her first kid, that she took one day off from work and then was back to work the very next day, which it's so crazy. Okay, there is actually a helicopter around. That's interesting. It's so. Oh, Crumb, I just believe in women taking their time to let their body recover because childbirth is not an easy thing. So I believe women should allow their body to recover and take a little bit of time. And you have to take time to bond with your child, anyways. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hello?
Hi, how old are you?
I am 18.
Mm-hmm. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Date of birth, go.
December 6th, 2007.
And why is it that you're still supporting Donald Trump? What's he done?
It's not as of what he's done because it's more of what he's doing. And what I came on here to ask what do you think about what just happened? I believe it was yesterday at the ballroom dinner.
It's an unfortunate event, and I'm glad everyone's okay.
Oh, okay. That's glad to hear that you're not like. All right. All right. So why don't you support Donald Trump? Can I ask you that?
Sure. I don't support a president that actively goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution.
Okay. So did you vote for Kamala Harris?
Who?
Kamala Harris.
Who?
Bro, it's rage baiting. Did you vote for Kamala?
I don't recognize that name.
Kamala Harris.
Still don't know it.
Kamala. Kamala, my fault.
Oh, yes, I did vote for Kamala Harris
Ooh,
in
yeah, she is one of
2024.
them.
I don't know if you realize this, but we're in 2026, which is why I asked you, like, what's Trump doing or like what he's done specifically. And you just said it's about what he's doing and then just like never gave an answer to it.
Because I kind of came up here for a specific reason, and you just like I thought you were going to say something completely different from what you did because that's kind of what your party is about, and of what
I'm
I've
not a
seen on
part of a
social media
political
so far.
party. I'm not
So
associated
you're
with
just
any
against
political
one.
party.
So
No,
are
I
you
already
just
explained it to
against
you.
one?
I already explained it to you. I don't support any president that actively goes against articles and amendments of the United States Constitution.
So you are. So you're not with any political party. So does
No,
that mean that you're only against one?
no, it's not what that means either.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, bye. I don't understand that line of questioning at all. I guess so, Todd. Yeah, he kind of seemed to have rage quit, which is just totally fine. I mean, you do you, boo boo. Doesn't bother me any. So I did. Oh, Ben, you're right. I probably did mess up his script. It's true. No. Why would I say that? Yeah, I'm very good at usually not digging into what they expect to happen from someone, and that's fine. I'm not trying to be that person, you know? He probably will be in the comments, and that's cool. Everyone's allowed to. It is what it is. Doesn't bother me any. NT, okay. Thank you for calling the stream.
The event was staged.
Okay. Capo, holy shit. Can we get huge W's to Capo for the 20 gifted memberships? I appreciate you so much. If you guys received a membership from Capo, be sure to say thank you. I do appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for being here in W Capo for that. Sure to give him a personal thank you if you received it. That's funny. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hello. Okay, bye. I'm really great at that. Let's see. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
You're not old enough. Thank you, sweetie. You're just not old enough. Thank you for calling the stream. Okay, bye. Mercy on me. I don't know why. Like, again, I'm going to remind people of this. Parents, you can make it so kids cannot dial unknown numbers. So you should probably look at doing that. I don't know why you guys let your kids just call every number on the internet. Thank you for calling the stream. Hi, how are you?
Hey, am I in here?
You are. How old are you?
Fuck.
Okay. Doing great. You were the kid. Why would I answer your phone? There we go. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hi.
Hi, how old are you?
Hi, I'm 18.
Okay, and are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Hello.
Hello, could you hear me? This is Donald Trump.
Poor attempt. Guys, real quick, I need someone. A lot of things are happening. Yeah. Oh. Thank you for calling the stream.
Yes, ma'am. I would like to wonder why.
Can't stop calling. Okay. So over the kids. Oh yeah, I know. So Luca says I'd run back to work if I had her husband too. I don't know if you were referring to Levitt though, because Levitt is still like, I mean, I don't know if her husband could run. Oh, that's what you mean. Oh God, I wasn't putting that together correctly. I got it now. I got it again. Okay, I got it, Luca. It took me a moment. Yeah, she got old man husband. It's very interesting. No. Take away your children's phone. It is not algae. That's the crazy part. Like, that's been over. Yeah, it's quite odd, everything that's happening. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hey, how you doing today, ma'am?
Doing well. How old are you?
I am 35 years old. I live in Florida. Are you in Colorado?
No, I'm not in Colorado. Just a
Oh,
number.
okay. I got you.
Awesome. Well, how are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Well, I didn't vote for either party,
Okay, are you
but
supporting him or?
do I support him?
Yeah.
Well, if you would say support, Romans 13 talks about you must submit your authority to the government officials, but
But
if they're
never
like evil
above,
and demonic,
but you don't put him
it does
above your
not.
God.
Right.
Correct. You don't put him above
A
the
lot of
God
Trump
for your
supporters do
Lord's
that,
law.
though.
They do.
A lot of Trump supporters will do that. But the thing is this: we have to realize who's in control, and if America would humble themselves and stop thinking like idolatry and that person's going to save us. He's a man. He's fallen. Every man has sinned, fallen short of the glory of God. We need to humble ourselves and seek God. But it's easy to say that because humbling causes us to die to self, desires, wants, needs. The carnal flesh doesn't want that. We want to feed the flesh. So
Okay.
if I could share anything, I didn't even want Kamala Harris to be president. So, I mean, would you rather have her be president right now? But then again, it's like we wouldn't really know. We know what she stood for.
Correct. I'm not a mind reader, so I couldn't tell you what that would look like. Are you going to vote in your midterms or?
Well, we have the Florida governor right now.
Correct. And the governor is up for re-election this cycle, but are you voting in your midterms?
Right. I hope I do.
Okay. Do you know what
Why?
district
Any
you're in?
pointers you would like to give me?
Do you know what congressional district you're in?
In Sarasota County.
I don't know what district that would be. Let me see. I can look that up. Sarasota County. You can usually find it if and I'm not saying give this to me. It could be the 17th district. It says
That
primarily located in the 17th district. So right now, you have Greg Stubbe as your incumbent, and you have 2 Democrats on the ballot that are running against him. You have Matthew Montavin and Alan Spence are both running and campaigning against him.
You
And
know
then there are
anybody? You
just,
know anything about them?
I do not. All I know, I just only know their names.
Oh, I got you. Well, if I would ask you for any wisdom or discernment, how should I vote?
In my opinion, if you don't agree with, and this is just mine, and I'm not telling anybody what to do, if you don't agree with the way that Donald Trump is taking this country, then you should vote for a Democrat. So hopefully they do something to stop him. Not saying that they will, they probably won't, they'll probably let us down. But that's the only way to
Right.
actually check him in his overreach and power. But of course, read their
Somebody
policies.
said he can run for a third term. They're
Oh,
saying that can be
no,
done.
it can't happen, and he knows it. He's even I will say that he's just joking, even though I think you shouldn't
Have you
joke
heard
about
of
something
that?
like that. Yes, I have.
Okay.
He can't. That would be
I didn't know. I
violating the
mean, you're obviously you're not
22nd
Florida.
Amendment.
Right. Well, I guess they said if he was vice president, if something happened to the president, then he could.
Nope.
That's all.
In
You
order to
know,
be
because
qualified, in order for to be qualified to be vice president, you have to be eligible to be voted in again as president. And since he is ineligible, then no, he cannot.
oh, I didn't know that
Yep.
because
There is an actual stipulation to that.
well, there was a guy on a podcast. He was saying it with most confidence. See, that's another thing is people can say a lot of things that they look like they're confident. People just believe them. Like, oh, he looks like he's confident. Looks like he knows what he's talking about. We'll believe him. I literally had someone tell me this morning, Bo, if you were talking about the weather, we had bad weather, and we're talking about the weather in a church setting, because I do a lot of speaking spiritual stuff about the Lord Jesus. He said, we would believe you. And I'm like, that's not good. But anyways, we really do. We have to, when we see the words God, we have a lot of people who, there's people who profess faith, but there's people that don't possess it. And possessing it is two different things. Like there's people who believe in God. Oh, he's somewhere out there, but no, then you have the believer. Those
Okay.
people are on their knees
Sir,
daily and praying.
I do appreciate you, and I do hope you go and vote in your election. I believe, let's see, your midterms for the federal elections are August 18th. Please go out and vote. But I am going to move on to somebody that does support Donald Trump, okay?
All right. God bless you, sweetie.
Thank you.
God bless you.
I'd rather not. Okay. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 39.
39. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I'll give two reasons. The first reason is I support any president that's in office. I don't want the world to fall apart. I don't want people to get hurt because I support them. I want them to do good. I don't get the idea of people, you don't like the president, so you want the world to fall apart. It's kind of deranged. And
Where did I say
secondly, I
that?
don't support.
Pause.
Sorry?
Where did I say that?
I didn't say you said that.
Oh, so then your
I'm
point is
not
irrelevant?
talking about you.
Oh,
What?
okay.
I'm saying
Gotcha.
people online that wish bad things to happen and give off negative energy and make these videos about killing the president and stuff like that. The reason why you don't kill the president is because that's democracy.
Stop, dude. Just stop. We're not going down that line. Thank you.
Okay, I won't go down that line.
Yeah.
But I will
thanks.
say I don't support people that have rhetoric like that, and it's usually been the left. From what I see,
Statistically
and I'm
not
not like
true.
a big MAGA. I'm not
hold
like
on.
everything
Hold
Trump
on.
does. I love.
Statistically not true. We have found that while there has been, this is information that was reported on by the Department of Justice itself before they took it down. But we actually know that it unfortunately is people that I lean to the right that have caused the most political violence in our country. There has been an uptick on violence from the people that lean politically left. I will agree with that. There has been an uptick, but they do not do the majority. So, I'm just
Oh, I mean,
letting
if
you know.
that's the case, but from what I've seen recently, it's been leftist. You know what I mean? Can
Melissa
you name
Hortman?
a recent person in the right doing
Melissa
that?
Hortman?
What if they killed Jimmy Kimmel, like
Melissa
it's a
Hortman.
Charlie Kirk.
I'm literally giving you one. Are
Sorry,
you listening?
I'm sorry to talk.
Melissa Hortman.
Okay,
Are you not familiar with her death?
no, I'm not.
Oh, how about Senator Hartman of Minnesota, who is a state senator? Are you
When
familiar
was
with
this
him?
though?
Oh, this was last
When was
year. This
this?
was in 2025.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Okay,
Paul
so you named two
Pelosi.
people. Did they shoot at the president? Did any
Oh, does it
Did they shoot
have
at
to be
Biden?
at the level of the presidency? Oh, sir, I
Yes, it
could.
does.
Oh, it has
Because
to
that's
be at the
democracy.
level of the presidency. So it
If
can't be any other elected official that's been attempted to be killed. It has to be strictly the president. Or is that what you're saying? Am I understanding that correctly?
I
If
2025
the
data suggests is the first year
Sir,
over 30
are
years
you
where
no, no,
left
no,
wing.
no. You're not answering my question. You are now muted. Until I'm sure that you're going to answer my question directly, then I will unmute you. So we're gonna try this one more time, sir. Okay. Great. You did stop talking, so that's fantastic. Thank you. Does it have to be at the level of the office of presidency for political violence to matter to you?
No, it doesn't. But
It
that's
does not. Fantastic. So the people that I listed are elected officials. And then one, I did list Paul Pelosi, who is the husband of an elected official, where they were planning on using him as a snatch and grab to then use him against his wife, right? And or try to use him as bait to kill her, right? Like we know these things happen.
but you do agree that 2025 it's been a real uptick left
I
wing
already said
violence,
that.
right?
Correct. I
All
already
right.
acknowledged that. Congratulations. You're not like getting very much with that.
I'm just saying, let's acknowledge that.
I already did. Let's see. We've been on the phone
Okay.
for 4 minutes. I acknowledged that 3 minutes ago.
Okay. Can I tell you why else I support Trump?
Oh no, have you looked up in the time that you went to look up a study, have you looked up Melissa Hartman yet?
Let me see. I'll look him up. Alyssa Hartman, right?
Yeah.
She's murdered, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Minnesota Democrat leader after political
How about the
motivated
attack on Josh
assassination.
Shapiro in Pennsylvania? Or the recent attack on Zoran Mamdani this year? Ooh.
There was an attack on Zoran Mamdani. When was this?
Literally in February.
What happened? Can you tell me? Because I'm not
Yeah,
familiar.
somebody threw a Molotov cocktail.
Somebody threw a
Sorry, no,
Molotov
they didn't throw a
cocktail.
cocktail, my bad. They threw a bomb that didn't actually go up, like blow up.
That wasn't that wasn't at him though. That was
It
that wasn't
went to the
for
governor's
him.
mansion. I'm sorry, did it not
Yeah,
land
it was
in the
next to
building?
it, but he threw it at people. It's not like Mandami was in the crowd.
It
Who
was
even knows if
at
he
the
was in there?
governor's mansion
It wasn't
where he
inside the
lives.
governor's
Or
mansion.
mayor, sorry, thank you guys, mayor's mansion. And
Was
apparently,
it outside or inside?
well, sir, they're not going to have the opportunity to plant the bomb more than likely inside of the mayoral mansion. So they threw it. Obviously, they were outside. Congratulations. It was still
I
firebombed,
don't think
is
it
the
was
point.
exactly towards Mandamni, but we can have we
Oh,
could agree
okay.
to
So how about
disagree.
Josh Shapiro? No, because we can't agree to disagree on facts. So anyway,
See, this is what's wrong with liberals. You can't meet a middle ground with you people.
no, it's because
It's like
you
either your way
disagree.
or the highway.
Okay, I'm not a liberal. I find it funny when people go that route. This is what's wrong with liberals. Anyway, see, the thing is you disagree on basic facts. Okay? The only thing that you wanted to be sure of that I agreed with you on is that there was an increase on political violence from the left, which I did. And again, I did that very quickly into the conversation because there is no fault in me admitting that. doesn't reflect poorly on me. It reflects poorly on society in general that we have an increase in fucking violence in general in our country, especially at the end of a gun. I have severe issues with that. So, my issue with you is that you seem to have only focused on the political violence that you knew of that were centering around Donald Trump or people inside of his hemisphere. You didn't acknowledge the attack on Josh Shapiro, who is a governor of Pennsylvania, who is a Democrat. You have never heard of Melissa Hartman or Senator Hortman, and maybe I'm mixing up those two last names. I wish they weren't so close together, of Minnesota, who were, well, Hortman was killed in her house along with her husband and their dog. Mr. Hartman was shot, survived. Luckily, him and his wife were both shot. So you didn't know about the political violence that has happened just since January of 2025, right? That happened to people on the left. You chose to live inside your bubble where you only cared about Donald Trump and hit people in his atmosphere that have had political violence towards them. So, I'm just going to point that out. Yeah, there was also an uncovered plot to kidnap Tim Walz, right? And I think that's, well, no, sorry, Michigan governor. That's not Walz. I'm getting a little bit mixed up with this guy. So, you don't know a whole bunch, just like many people didn't realize the names of all the people that they thwarted in their attempt to do anything to Joe Biden while he was president. So, like, you have Adam Benjamin, Alex Treisman was arrested as well. You have Craig Robertson, who was the only one that was actually killed when they were investigating, right, to see what his plot was against Joe Biden because he made threats. And instead of actually allowing the investigation or going with the FBI, he took a shot and then they retorted with their own gunfire. So can you tell me why you only focus on political violence on Donald Trump and his inner circle?
Are you saying that somebody tried to shoot at Biden? Did you say that? I just want to clear that up because it's what it sounded like. And I
Sir,
don't only look at one side. I watch CNN. I watch ABC. I try to look at the other side.
did you hear
because I
about
want to
any?
be.
Oh my goodness. Okay, pause. Before today, before in the last 5 minutes, had you ever heard of any of the names that I just brought up? Any of them? Any
That's-
single one of them?
That's not my fault because the media didn't really talk about
No,
it as
you
much.
didn't look. You weren't looking at the media. You weren't looking in spaces. Like, I don't know how you missed this. This was headline national media news when the two state representatives in Minnesota were shot. This was national news. You chose to live in a bubble. Josh Shapiro was also national news. You chose to live in a bubble. In fact, I can't even say that this was just national news. This was international news because places like BBC, Reuters, Al Jazeera, ABC Australia were all reporting on this. CTV out of Canada, they all reported on this. You chose to live in a bubble, and that is on you that you are choosing to ignore what doesn't suit your narrative.
I am not. That's not true. You're
Then
judging
why
me by
didn't you
something that's not
know?
true.
Then why didn't you know about the
I don't
attack
live
on
in
Josh Shapiro?
Minnesota. Why the fuck would I know about anything in Minnesota?
I don't live in Minnesota
live there.
either. I don't live in Minnesota,
but
nor
I
do
don't
I live in
care.
Pennsylvania, nor do I live in New York, nor do I live in freaking Washington, D.C., nor do I live in Utah, where everything else has happened across this country, but I know about it, and I don't even need to know much about it because it's all over the news. You chose to ignore it. You chose not to look.
I didn't choose not.
Yes, you did. Your excuse of I don't live in that state means absolutely nothing because you chose to ignore the news or maybe you chose to forget about it. I don't know which one. The excuse of not living in that state falls flat, immediately falls flat.
Okay, I mean, I'll say there's violence on both sides. We can agree on that, and it's horrible. I don't believe in it, and I think that's horrible. And killing the president is like killing democracy
Nobody killed him.
because people voted. No, but tried to kill him. And the guy that
I
went
can't even
into
say it was an
the
attempt
ballroom,
because he didn't even make it that far.
he didn't, but he wanted to kill other officials.
Oh,
You
cool.
know
So
what I
not the
mean?
president because he didn't name names in his. In fact, the only name that he listed was not Patel. Was literally saying he's not going after Patel. And again, every single president has had some kind of assassination attempt on their life that we've known in modern history since we've been keeping
True, but
track of this stuff. So can you tell me
Obama had an
why is it that the
assassination attempt?
FBI, how about this? Why is it that the FBI is failing to thwart attempts? Because there are always signs. Why is it that in this presidency, for Donald Trump specifically, the FBI has absolutely failed in their job to thwart attempts on the life of the president of the United States of America?
Yeah, that's disappointing. I
Why?
I agree with that.
Why?
I don't know why. I have no
Oh,
idea.
would it possibly be because Kash Patel is inept for his job? He's not qualified?
Possible, yeah. I don't really
Okay,
like Cash Patel
cool.
much.
Call your representative in Congress, call your senator, and tell them to get rid of Kash Patel because he sucks at doing his job and that this most recent attempt proves it. Because our cybersecurity has been absolutely shit since Kash Patel took over the FBI. And that is proven because his emails were hacked.
Yeah, I don't think he's qualified. I really
Okay,
don't.
cool. Call your representatives in Congress then. Call your representative,
Maybe
call
I
your
will.
senator. No, it's not maybe. I'm saying you should. Because if you want these to stop, because the FBI worked just fine and thwarted over 10 attempts, 10 written attempts, whether they talked about it in passing or wherever else, they thwarted attempts on Joe Biden's life under the previous presidency. But somehow they failed to thwart one that actually made it into the building he was at.
I
They
understand
failed
the
to catch it.
FBI.
The man managed
It's
to
not.
travel across the entire country
Okay.
on a fucking train and they didn't even find him. They didn't even know about it. Call
That
your
is
representatives in Congress.
you know what? In 2015, the FBI failed to respond to the Larry Nassar. Are you familiar? You're familiar with the Larry Nassar, the doctor, right? He had a lot of victims said something. They failed that. They didn't, go after him. It took, years for them to
Cool.
go.
I'm
The
glad you're
FBI
now
is not.
trying to divert
I
the
don't
point.
even
That's
like the
cool.
FBI like that. I don't think
Then
they used to be.
call your representatives because this is a part of their job. Or even tell them to do something about Tulsi Gabbard because she's over the intelligence community. And why wasn't the intelligence community tracking this stuff? Because there are almost always signs that people willfully miss. But there's almost always something online that points in the direction that something is going to happen.
You're right. And there's a lot of people making videos and saying, oh, I wish she was dead and stuff like that. I think they should, at least investigate these people or do something because it's not about right or left on that. I don't
No,
want
you're
any
supposed to
president to
stop it
die
from
because
ever
it's
happening.
about
This
the
is why a
democracy.
22-year-old boy whose permanent face looks like he's eyebrow lifted emoji should have never been.
Who's that?
I don't remember the kid's name. I just know I made him a meme in my Discord server.
Oh, okay.
Um,
All right. Yeah.
Somebody else wants to remind me of that 22-year-old's name who's has no experience. I was saying it right.
Okay. Well, I don't want to argue about the violence on both sides. I think it's disgusting, and maybe I will. I'm not gonna say I will because I'm not gonna lie. I might not. I work a lot. I don't have time to be calling, with my representatives right now. So
Thomas
maybe one
Fugate.
day.
Thank you, Jackie. Yeah, that's who it is. No, guys, for those that are like making fun of looks, no, I'm just saying that his permanent look on his face, his like actual photo, that is his government photo, he's making an eyebrow lift, and I just thought it was funny. That's all. But yeah, Thomas Fugate is 1000% unequivocally unqualified for the position that he's in, and yet, and this shows actually. This absolutely shows.
I mean, I don't know much about him. I can't comment on that. But like I said, Cash Patel, I agree. He's inept. We should get rid of him. We need somebody else. Somebody knows what they're doing. Not a guy who is on podcast talking, BS. Like it's crazy. I don't agree with everything Trump does. See, people think that people in the MAGA
No
think
one
that
said that.
we agree with
Like,
everything he does. We don't.
yeah, I didn't say that. Anyway, so let me put this up here for guys. I know it's all the way to the side. It won't like let me zoom in, but this is his face. Okay. This is his actual government photo. He's lifting his eyebrows. He looks like the emoji. I'm just saying. I personally thought it was funny. It's literally a sticker in my server because with the eyebrow lift emoji next to it because it was funny. And like even
Well,
his one picture, like eyebrow lifted again. Now I need a picture of the emoji. I lift emoji.
Well, I would like to say, I gotta go. Thanks for the conversation.
Ah,
Um,
yeah, you too,
you know,
man.
and actually called you last time when we talked about Iran. I don't know if you remember.
I talk to a lot of
I
people.
talked to a lot of people.
You like reposted it.
Oh, I might have. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, can I shout my
No, thank
YouTube
you.
name out? Okay.
Have a good one, man.
One man.
All right. Bye.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just like, it's just that it's so spot on. Okay, I'll give a critique, okay? The lifted eyebrow, it's his is more to the edge instead of closer to the beginning of the eyebrow. It's more to the edge. It's closer to the glabella. So I will give that critique. It's not perfect, but he is the actual emoji, and it does still make me laugh to this day. That's all. It's not. It's just a haha. It made me laugh. That's all. Sorry, guys. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi. Can you turn down the stream in the background, please?
Say that one more time. Oh, in
Can
the
you?
background? Yeah, I got
Yes,
you.
please.
Yeah, I turned it down.
Great. Thank you so much. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Correct.
Okay. What's Donald Trump? Sorry. And how old are you?
I'm 31.
Okay. And what's he done so far that's earned your continued support?
He's consistent. He's been talking about the same things that he's been talking about since the 70s and 80s. He's never switched up.
Okay. And so, like, what's he done to earn your continued support?
He's
That wasn't an
consistent.
answer to my. Can you give specifics?
Yes, of course, I can give you specifics. So he's been talking about Iran not having a nuclear weapon since maybe the 80s. He told people that if he does become president, or if he decides to become president, he would stop all of these other countries from ripping us off. And he imposed tariffs.
You're awesome.
I agree with the way that he closed the border.
So where do you want to start? Iran, tariffs, or the border?
Where would you like to start?
These are your topics. Can you pick one?
You asked me a question, so I answered your question.
I don't have a preference, so can you pick one?
You want me to pick the one that, I mean, what do you want me to
Which
pick?
one do you think you have the most knowledge about?
I have knowledge about all of them. I mean, I think that, if you look at history, if you do your research and you go back to every interview that Donald Trump has had with people like Oprah Winfrey, or he was on The View in the past. these people supported him and they liked him until he became the president. So I think, as far as the issues that are happening right now, he did what he said he was going to do. A lot of presidents before said that they were going to stop Iran, and they never did. And he was the one that actually went and did it. So Iran's a big one. I mean, the people tax returns this year, people have gotten the biggest tax returns that they've had this year because of the big beautiful bill. He's also created the Trump accounts for newborn babies that
No,
are
you're not
born
moving
from.
on to new topics because I was still waiting for you to choose any one of the ones that you first named. That's why I
I'm
stopped
telling
you
you
at
all of the
3.
reasons
I
why I
stopped you
support
at
Donald Trump.
3. I didn't want you to tell me all of the reasons, right? Like
What
I
would you like me to
specifically
think?
stopped you and then Cool. What did Donald Trump say in 2015 when it came to tariffs?
In 2015, I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
Remind me.
Cool. So in 2015, when Donald Trump went down the golden escalator, at the end of it, he sat down with Katie Tur with NBC News at the time in June or July of 2015. And within this interview that he actually sat down and had with her, she asked a very pointed question. So, sir, all of your Trump ties are made in China. If you impose tariffs on other countries, specifically to try to bring things back to the United States for manufacturing, would you move your Trump ties and other manufacturings that are under the Trump name back to the United States of America? And do you know what Donald Trump said in 2015 with Katie Tur?
Tell me.
No, because it would still be cheaper to pay the tariffs than to move manufacturing back to the United States. And guess what? Under the direction of his children, the ties, his Trump tie brand, is still made in China. The Bibles that he sold, made in China. The hats, the materials, sourced from China. The MAGA hats that people are wearing, the materials were sourced from China.
Okay. You're
Tariffs
talking
didn't
about his
do
tie
anything.
brand? I mean, what is his comment about tariffs in 2015 have to do with the issues that are
What were the
happening now?
purpose of the tariffs?
To charge other countries for what's the reason why Chinese people don't buy Chevrolets or Fords?
We don't pass the inspections in China or other countries, and our vehicles are too big for other countries. We don't make them for their smaller roads. Also, why would they buy a vehicle that would cost 30 to 50,000 USD when they have little electric cars that are highly rated that they can buy for $5,000 to $9,000 USD?
Yeah, it might not make sense for China to have things like vehicles, but for America, if we bring back manufacturing to America or we influence these other countries to export from America, then we would make more money as a country.
Okay. Let's start with a basic question. All right. Well, actually, I already proved your point wrong. Donald Trump, under the direction of his kids, his family has not once over 11 years moved manufacturing back into the United States of America. What proof do you have that tariffs on imports move manufacturing to the United States? If the biggest proponent, you just did. You just said that manufacturing and tariffs incentivize them to come back to the US.
No, I said that if we can incentivize other countries to export from America, we would make more money as a country. I never claimed that people have moved. I've never said that.
I didn't say that you claim that people have moved. You did state that it incentivizes them. Maybe you didn't use that word because I don't know if that
Right? It
is
just
in
seems
your
like you're trying to
Rolodex or
argue with me.
lexicon.
You're trying to pick out the points that I may not know
Cool.
everything about, and you're trying to argue. We can have a conversation if you'd like, if you want to be
This
nice
is
about
a
it.
conversation, and I haven't been rude to you at all.
You're very condescending to every one of your callers,
Oh,
and we can
now I
have
always love
a
it when we go
conversation.
into tone policing. Please define condescension. Please define that.
That's not the topic that we're discussing. We're
Oh, you brought it
discussing the
up.
topic
Now
of
you
why
don't want to
I
go into the
discuss.
fact that you're tone policing me?
No, I don't want to go into that.
Then why did
Actually, I
you bring it
called
up?
because I support
Then why
Donald
did you bring
Trump,
it
and
up?
that's what I want to talk
Why
about.
did you bring it up? If you are like if you don't want to go into that topic, why did you bring it up?
I was stating that you're very condescending with all of your callers. Now let's get back to the
Okay,
point
so define
of why I called.
condescending.
I'm not talking about condescending. I'm talking about why I support Donald Trump. So let's get back on
Cool.
track
Who pays the
to the
tariffs?
actual point.
Who pays when we have a 15% tariff on a country like Canada and items are being imported from Canada? Who pays that 15% tariff on Canadian goods to the United States government?
Taxpayers. And taxpayers don't mind paying that if it's going to make the country more money overall.
You also said earlier in the call that we were charging foreign countries. So how does that work?
Did I say that we were charging foreign countries, or did I say that if we did charge foreign countries, then we as a country would get more out of it because we would have more manufacturing and things just like
Cool.
China
Where are we
exports
charging
to us.
them? Where are we charging them money? Please show me. How are we
What do you mean
charging
where?
foreign countries money?
When they pay us for goods that we manufacture, then they pay us tariffs for those goods.
We have tariffs on our exports now. The United States of America has tariffs on our exports.
No, the argument is they should have tariffs on the exports because other countries tariff our
No,
exports.
I don't think you understand how this works. Okay. If the United States had a tariff on exports, it would still be the American manufacturers that would pay that tariff to the United States because it would not be able to leave port or the airplane or the airport. My bad, the airport until it was paid to customs because it's CBP that collects the import tariff from American manufacturing companies or American consumers, whoever is importing an item, the importers. If you had a tariff on exporting goods, that would still be paid for by the American exporters. That would not be paid for by the foreign country because we would have no way to force them to pay us once it arrived at their port.
Okay. So the reason why tariffs are good, well, first of all, if we go back into history, right?
Did we just factory reset?
Is how tariffs are how we made 99% of the profits that we had as a country. I think it was like World War I or World War II. The only time we ever taxed the citizens in our country was when there was a war, so we could fund the war. After World War I or World War II, I'm not sure which one it was, they kept the taxes, and originally it went to court a few times, and it was labeled that it was unconstitutional for citizens of the United States to pay taxes. So at some point in history, the surplus that we have as a country stopped coming from tariffs from other countries, and it started coming out of the Americans' pockets.
Sir.
So Trump.
Sir, pause.
So Trump
pause.
wants to re-implement
pause.
tariffs. Okay, you're gonna start yelling now?
Only
and you're
because.
Gonna cut me off? I wasn't finished talking. That's what.
Okay. Only because I had already asked you to pause. I said it twice. And on thrice, I raise my volume because you were purposefully being willfully deaf to the sound of my voice. Okay? So because you ignored me, I increased my octave for you and also got closer to the microphone, so it probably did sound like it was yelling to you. But I don't know if you realize this, but even at the implementation of tariffs, at that time, it was still the American importer who paid the tariffs to the United States government. It is literally, like, sorry, I know I messed up that word. It was not the foreign country. So again, when I asked you, how do we charge money to foreign countries, you have yet to equivocate that.
How do we charge foreign countries? I answered your question already. We charge other foreign countries by importing things to their country, which they pay us for.
That would be exporting. And no, the United States government doesn't collect anything on that. That is collected by the CEOs in the company that sold the item. They make a profit from that. The United States
And
government
the United
doesn't
States
collect
gets
anything.
tariffs for exporting it to the other country. That is how we
No,
get paid.
we do not get tariffs
What are you trying
for
to prove here?
exporting. I don't know if this is just like,
You're awesome.
I don't know where the disconnect is here. I'm not sure if you're listening to simply just respond or if you're simply refusing to comprehend. I don't know what it is right now. We do not have tariffs on exports because if we had tariffs on exports of our goods, it would still be American exporters, American companies, or individuals paying that tariff to the United States government. An import tariff is the same thing. It is still American importers or American individuals that are paying the tariff on imports to the United States government. There are no fees, no money being directly collected to the United States government from foreign countries.
They can do retaliatory tariffs. That's what they usually do. They do retaliatory tariffs for the exports. Technically, you can't. I mean, obviously, the Constitution doesn't allow you to put federal taxes on the exports, but that's the whole premise of what Trump wants to change, so that way we
And
can
what
make
are
more money as
retaliatory
a
tariffs
country.
going to do?
Say that again?
What are retaliatory tariffs going to do?
I'm not saying we should put retaliatory tariffs.
No,
I'm
you
saying
said
that other
they.
countries.
You didn't say we. You said they. And I'm asking
No,
you,
let
what
me
are
let me
retaliatory tariffs going
clarify.
to do?
Let
No,
me
you already,
clarify what
you're
I was saying.
clarifying a point that I didn't say. You said yourself, they could put on retaliatory tariffs. So I'm asking you, what are
Yes,
retaliatory tariffs going to do?
they meaning other countries. That's
awesome.
what I was saying. Okay. So
I
trading
know, I
partners
wasn't
like
questioning that
China.
part. I'm aware.
Okay. Okay, you gonna let me answer? So trading trading partners like China, they have imposed tariffs in response to America's actions, which causes a decline in exports like agriculture. So it negatively impacts our country.
Cool. So we're still not making money from.
Tariffs are like they're paid by like the United States importer, not the foreign exporter. I understand that, but the cost it's passed to consumers. So the corporations win at the end of the day. They make all the money, which is why they want to implement the tariffs so that way the country can make money instead of the corporations. Are we finished?
Oh no, I was still just waiting for you to actually make a modicum of sense, and it's still failing. I want to go back to one thing that you
Okay.
said because I find it
Can
interesting.
we agree
You
on anything?
said, sorry, you said that people are willing to pay more, right?
Yeah, I would say that, personally, I would be willing
Oh,
to
just
pay more
you.
in taxes if it meant, yeah, I think that people
You're not
as
paying it in
well would.
taxes, sir. I don't know if you realize
Are
this.
you
You're
are
paying
you
it
gonna
when you
let me
purchase
answer the
items at
question, or are
the.
you just gonna cut me off while I answer
No,
you?
no, I'm correcting you. You're not paying
You
more
asked
in.
me a question. You don't
I
correct
am
somebody as they're
correcting
answering you.
you.
You can
Yes.
correct.
No, because you're already wrong when you started your sentence. You said, I'm willing to pay more in taxes. We're not talking about you paying more in taxes. We're talking about you paying more when you buy something off the shelf. And earlier, what you said is that the American people are willing to pay more.
I said some people may be willing to pay more in taxes,
Oh, you
so
didn't.
that way. That is exactly what I said, buddy.
A, I'm not your buddy. B, you didn't say taxes either. We were talking about tariffs. Why are you bringing up taxes?
Can we agree on anything? There's got to be something.
Well, you did agree with me that it's not the foreign country that pays import tariffs to the United States government, and that it is, in fact, the American importer. So we're doing great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that, like, is there one thing that Donald Trump has done correctly or that you agree with as a president? Is there one thing?
The Right to Try Act.
I guess I'm not familiar with that.
Cool. I just want to let you know because you said that everybody's willing to pay more for their consumer goods because it's so great for the country and all that. Consumer confidence has plummeted to a record low of about 48%. We're just going to hit it in the middle, which is marking a 11% decline from the month of March. So people are not willing to pay more. That's what the consumer confidence index measures, is how much money and how willing the American people are to spend their money in the economy. So you're still wrong. Have a great day. I'm sorry, that was actually like pulling teeth. That it was like a factory reset every time. It was so weird. How do you factory reset in the middle of a conversation? Yeah, guys, if you are new here, be sure to hit that follow, hit that subscribe button, depending on which platform you are on. We do have memberships, super chats, bits, subscriptions, gifts, and super fans all available. Real quick, guys. Okay. Let's try to take the next caller, and I promise, guys, I will get to your super chats. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Deuces. Thank you for calling the stream. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yep.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay, and what's your date of birth?
That's none of your business.
Okay, have a good one. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
You're awesome.
Wait, hello?
Hi, how old are you?
Oh, you want to know? By the way, you're...
Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay, and are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Of course.
Awesome. What's Donald Trump done to earn your continued support?
So, many things. I do want to talk about the tariffs, but as an American, as a disabled veteran that served our country, I also, support Trump for protecting our citizens as far as closing the borders, keeping us safe. You can't just have open borders and let everybody in. I mean, we get the
Mm,
human aspect of it as far as allowing human beings to come for a better life, but when you open borders, you let everybody in. Living in California, especially in the Bay Area, sanctuary city, where we pass no IDs to vote and stuff like that, allows those immigrants to come in our country with no IDs to vote, and who do you think they're going to vote for? So they're
uh-huh.
trying to control the House, trying to control the vote,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the immigration part. But as far as tariffs go, national security is the biggest reason why we implement tariffs on our, competitors like China and whatnot. And if you want to get into the details about that, I see tariffs as a national security tool. We use them on steel, aluminum, ships, and weapons and whatnot. Back in World War II, we relied on companies that built in America to rebuild, ships and military equipment. Right now, we don't have that. China and other countries produce all that. So if we go to a war, we're going to get dominated because we can't reproduce anything. I mean, if you look at the stats, the amount of ships we build, China builds more in 1 year than we've done since World War II. So if you want to get on the tariffs, let's talk about national security. Of course, it's going to raise prices for the citizens that live in America, but once upon a time, it used to be all built in America, and now it's like you can't even go to the stores and see that anymore. It's mostly outsourced from other places. So for national security, tariffs are a tool to get companies to come back and invest in America and build in America. So when we do have a war or national security risks, we can rely on those companies to build. I mean, right now we're building one ship a year versus like China 900, for example. Sorry, that was a long breath.
Oh, you didn't breathe that entire time. Are you okay?
So what do you feel about that?
Let's see. Well, you said a lot for me to go over, so that was a very
Well,
lengthy
I said a
gish
lot for
gallop.
you to
I'm
like
only
hurry up and
going
type in and
to
do research and stuff. Like off the top of your head, off of what you've been seeing, without like going on and researching everything we talked about and try to get you gotcha points and specific dates and stuff like that. I mean, let's call a spade and talk as what we see and call it the facts of fact.
sorry, data are facts. I like numbers.
All right, go
Do
ahead.
you not like numbers? And I wasn't
No,
even
I like numbers.
searching anything, so it's always really funny when people hear the keyboard typing, they assume I'm looking something up and I'm not. Okay.
Well,
Anyway, we moved away from being a manufacturing company or country after World War
country,
II.
yeah.
We also moved away from building ships, like specifically battleships, because they were outdated and considered ineffective in modern warfare, right? They determined that um, fighter jets are the more effective way of committing war in today's
Fighter jets.
time.
Well, fighter jets need aircraft carriers to get to, you know, the enemy.
No,
They
not
can't just fly there
necessarily.
from the
That's
U.S., so
not
we need the
true.
ships.
That's not true.
Well, I mean, yeah, we got other bases and stuff like that, but when we have a conflict like we do with Iran and other countries like in Europe are not allowing us to land on their, on their land, we're going to
Oh
need the
yeah.
ships, the
I'm not
carriers.
I'm not saying that there's no use for aircraft carriers. I didn't say aircraft
Uh-huh.
carriers were phased out. I specifically mentioned battleships. Aircraft carriers,
Right.
that's different. And let's see. Well, there's actually an entire company in Maine that manufactures aircraft carriers for the United States of America. So those are still
Mm-hmm.
being built in America in Maine. They pay a lot of money for people to make them and put them together and do all that work.
You're talking about
So,
military ships?
yes.
Yeah, how many military ships does America make in a year versus
Don't know. How
China
about you tell
just
me?
in
You
a
seem
year?
to know. I don't care about China.
Well, we should care about China. They're our biggest enemy. They're the closest to our power, right? So if anything would, run amok, they would be the first ones to, for example, if they invade Taiwan, what do you think we're going to do as we're one of their biggest allies? We're going to defend, and that could be the spark of World War III. So, I mean, there's so many different things that can happen in the world that it looks like we're headed towards World War III. So if we don't start bringing back American jobs and infrastructure, digging out our own minerals and stuff like that, instead of relying on other countries, we're going to be screwed when it comes to war because there's no clean war. Shit's going to, ships are going to sink, planes are going to crash. We're going to have to rebuild just like we did in World War II. And that was the main engine that won us the war because we had just this amazing infrastructure and we just rebuilt everything so fast so the enemy couldn't keep up. So in today's world, if we don't get our shit together, we are screwed if we're relying on our enemy for the supplies we need for our military. So, for example, did you know we get most
No,
of our
stop.
minerals and
You
metals
are
from
gish
China?
galloping again, and I'm honestly over it. I have maybe been able to get out a sentence and a half before you interrupted me. And to be clear, it's the Department of Defense who requests when we manufacture new ships. It's also the Department of Defense that determines when we cycle out expiring or not expiring, when we cycle ships out for retirement, as they call it, right? Similarly enough, how those ships eventually get turned into artificial reefs in our oceans that surround the United States of America. This is all stuff that's requested by the Department of Defense. If you are so upset that we're not producing enough ships, then you should be mad at the Department of Defense, where in every September, where they have to spend out their entire budget or lose it, they don't do it to commission new ships, or they don't do it going straight into the new year. Hey, we know we're going to run up on a deadline in September of 25. So let's go ahead, or like September of 26 this year, let's go ahead and commission 5 new aircraft carriers, right? And get that started because they pay them in phases. Okay? They're not doing that. Instead, they tell somebody on base that's an E7 or higher and says, you have this much money to spend, go buy something. And then we see moments where they bought a fucking grand piano, which meant absolutely nothing. Okay? And that's part of the problem. Like, you're so upset about something that's not even an issue because, again, we have American manufacturing companies specifically for our artillery and our ships that we utilize within the United States. Raytheon, they sell all of their material to the United States. We own the majority of their patents. And before they can sell to any country or to anyone other than the United States government on anything that we own the patent on, they have to get explicit express approval from the United States government. You are screaming into the void, into a mythical boogeyman that doesn't exist. Is China going to surpass us militarily? Probably so. And you know what? Is that the fault of the presidents? Absolutely, probably so. It's the fault of every previous Department of Defense, Secretary of Defense leader that didn't do it. It's the fault of Congress who hasn't focused on it. And we've lost the focus, lost the plot since World War II ended. You said it yourself. There's been multiple Republicans since then. There's been multiple Democrats since then. Now, let's see. If you are so hung up over ships being built, how many ships has this DOD commissioned?
Hey, it's not just ships.
You're not answering my question. We are no longer letting you gish gallop here. I want a direct answer. Specifically, how many ships has this DOD commissioned?
Yeah. Well, I'm not looking at.
You're not answering the question, so we're going to try this again. If you don't know, when I take you off mute, you just say, I don't know. So specifically, how many ships has this Department of Defense commissioned?
We build.
You're not answering the question again. So we're going to try this one more time. If you are still refusing to answer the question with either an I don't know or a specific number, I am going to disconnect the call. You are currently on mute until I finish my question. When I take you off mute, I want a direct answer to my question. How many ships has the Department of Defense commissioned in this term?
How many ships has the
Cool. We're still not answering the question. And we're done. Again, if you want to blame somebody, that's cool. You blame everybody leading up to it. That's fine. It is the Department of Defense who gets to request this. They get to argue for it in their budget when they go to Congress, who does hold the purse strings to the United States of America. And if somebody in the chat, because I saw a lot of you guys being really funny about this, and I do mean haha funny because I am laughing at your expense. If you think that somebody that just gish gallops and never lets the opposition talk is winning, then you are part of the problem. And I mean that for you friendlies as well. When I'm just gish galloping, and y'all know when I do, because I can fully admit that I'm gish galloping. You don't win using a logical fallacy. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello?
No. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yes,
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm 35.
35. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No, I'm actually calling because the last few callers, man, that's one thing about the Trump supporters, especially where I'm from. I'm from South Louisiana, and they're just so violent right off the bat, and I do not understand because I see it every single day. I mean, they're supporting with violence this Cheez-It that's running the whole country. He's like a carrot. And some of the violence I see in my town, simply the other day I was at a Buffalo Wild Wings,
Sir,
and these Trump supporters with the MAGA hats and their flags, they were anti-protesting people protesting ICE, and the ICE protesters
that's kind
were
of funny,
calm
actually.
and cordial, and the Trump protesters were sitting there mooning them with their bare asses out.
That's also kind of funny, honestly. I think that's indecent exposure, but hey, but man, I appreciate you. You have a good one. That's funny. I'm gonna get back at y'all by mooning you. I don't want to see that. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Okay. Hi, how are you?
Outstanding. How are you today?
Doing great. How old are you?
42.
Can you speak a little bit more clearly? You are difficult to hear.
I hope this helps.
A little bit. Okay. And are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, I am.
Okay, what specifically has Donald Trump done since he's been back in office that's earned your continued support?
Well, I would say definitely hitting Iran. Iran was a huge one with nuclear materials. If they would have gotten a nuke, they would have kept a good portion of the world's oil basically under a hostage negotiation because they could irradiate it at any given point in time. And I don't think they would have hesitated to hit Israel with a nuke if they had one.
Oh, so they
That's
don't have a
one of the
nuke.
many things. Is there any particular subject that you find near and dear to
No,
your heart?
I'm just saying, so they don't have a nuke, right?
No, they did not get a nuke. They did not
Oh,
acquire
okay.
one.
Gotcha. Because you said earlier that they had a nuke, and then you said that if
Oh,
they
did
had
I?
one,
Sorry, I did not mean to represent that.
okay. How would a
Yes,
nuclear weapon irradiate oil? I am just curious.
I guess you get a penetrator on there, and if the ground around it is irradiated, it's going to lead to contamination of the oil. You burn off you can refine the oil, but the radiation is still going to be within those byproducts, and those byproducts will be burnt into vehicles and spread radiation throughout the globe, or at least devalue the oil that it hits. I mean, there's a lot of different options there.
Yeah, it's not actually how that would work. There's a specific process, and just having a nuclear weapon doesn't cause that to happen. That's It's a very odd statement there. Anyways, can you
Okay,
tell me
well, I
what
could
what
actually give it with
specific
a different
benefit the
premise.
United States has earned by bombing Iran? What specific
Also,
benefit have we
listen,
gained from bombing them?
we no longer have to worry about them. I was a 12-year soldier in the U.S. Army. We don't have to worry about them giving weapons to any of the groups that we were fighting in Afghanistan or Iraq, and they were giving away a lot of weapons to those guys. They were also supporting Hezbollah, Hamas, other Muslim terrorist organizations.
Oh
They were
wow.
basically behind the
So we
majority of these.
shouldn't be with any country. We shouldn't be making deals with any country that is funding terrorist organizations, right?
Depending on, definitely not with terrorist organizations that want to destroy the United States.
Okay, so not Hezbollah, not Hamas, not the Houthis, right? Because all of these they're the bad ones, right? The
No,
bad jujus. We
you know,
shouldn't
these
do
are
business
bad
with,
people. Yes, these are
yeah,
bad
we
actors.
shouldn't do business with any country that has ever funded these three organizations.
Organizations change over time. Are you trying to catch me in some type of a, I don't
No,
know,
I'm
trap
just
here? Or,
nailing this down because I don't know if you realize this, but even leading up to the events of October 7th, um, Israel themselves funded Hamas. Oman has funded Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis. Qatar, they host leaders of the Hamas, Hezbollah, and the Houthis, and they give them money. The United
I
States of
completely agree with
America
some
has also
portions of what
funneled
it's saying
money
here.
to terrorist organizations as well. And yet,
Yeah,
and see, even the Saudi
I live with parts
princess,
of Saudi
even the
Arabia.
Saudi princess, so of Saudi Arabia, have specifically given money to Hamas and Hezbollah. And yet we are
Yes,
doing business with every single country that I just named. And these people have all been funded within the last 10 years by these countries. So this isn't a systematic
that's
change.
fine.
These countries have
It
been
does not change that it is a
attacking
bad
our
thing to
soldiers
fund
in other
terrorist
countries for
organizations.
a long time.
We don't fund, if we fund the terrorist organizations that want to destroy us, that is a bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm
we've
not
done
going to
that.
object with that.
Yeah.
Yes, especially with Osama bin Laden. He was also back in the Soviet era when we were back funding the Taliban. Yeah, we created Osama bin Laden. He was a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we didn't make him. But as far as Iran's concerned, they basically have been sponsoring terror throughout the Middle East. I'm not sure
So
why
as all of these
people
other
in Europe,
countries that I just listed, including the United States of America, just like we've
the other
technically
countries
been
are
funding
trying
the
to,
cartels in Mexico by giving them weapons. Like I don't know if you've caught up to this yet, but the United States is in fact the bad guy on the world stage. We are one of the number one
we are not.
funders
We
of
are certainly
terrorism.
not. Now, I remember during the Obama administration, we did have Operation Fast and Furious that was transferring
Hmm.
a lot of weapons south of
Oh,
the
you
border
think
that did
that
end up
just only occurred
falling
under
off.
Obama? That's occurred under Republican presidents as well, including Bush, Reagan. They've all done something similar. This is nothing new.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a bad thing to give cartels weapons and it's a bad thing to give terrorists weapons. We can both agree
Right.
on that, but I've told you that we benefited from stopping Iran from getting their hands on a nuke and stopping the funding of all these terrorist organizations. Are you saying that that is not a benefit?
No, we've actually just created more homegrown terrorists, in my opinion, when we have bombed their school infrastructure, when we've bombed their hospitals, and we killed 160 schoolgirls in Manab.
Yeah, we did do most of all that. Yes, you're right. But let's
What
have a
part of
look
that did we
through
not
this real
do?
quick.
What part of that did
What
we
I'm
not
trying to
do? I only listed 3 things, so tell
talk
me what I
about,
was wrong about.
can I, can I just go with my
No,
points
you
here
said I
real
was
quick?
right about
Won't be
most of those
long.
things. I was right about most of those things, which means I was right about 2 out of 3. So which one of the 3 was I wrong? I said we've
I don't
bombed
think
their
it was
school
intended to hurt the
infrastructure, we've
school.
bombed their
I don't think,
hospital infrastructure, and we killed
I
160
think that the,
schoolgirls in
the
Manab.
girls' school was a mistake. The girls' school was actually just fog of war, and that was a mistake.
I'm sorry, it was just
But
what of
going through
war?
that, the fog of war, do you know what
The
that is?
fog of war. How accurate
Yes.
are our Tomahawk missiles? You should know, you're a 12-year vet.
Yes, they can go through a window at 70 miles away.
How accurate are our GPS guided Tomahawk missiles?
Within, I think it's measured in inches.
9 feet.
Like,
And
yeah,
that's from
very,
like
very accurate.
older, so that was from like 5-10 years ago. Considering that this specific one, yeah,
But
we'll
it's not
give to
missiles
that
going
one.
towards the building that they've got bad intelligence on.
Oh yeah,
It's
how
not
long
that.
has that? Yeah, bad intelligence. Cool.
Mhm.
Why is it if it's bad intelligence that civilians were able to find and pinpoint exactly when that school became a school 8 years ago, but the United States military had outdated intelligence from 15 years ago when it was an abandoned building? Can you explain that one to me? How is the United States intelligence so bad that we have 15-year-old intelligence on an empty building at the time?
Oh, probably in that region. Now, in that region in particular, I think that we get the majority of our intelligence, or at least a good portion of it, from Israel, right?
Oh, okay.
And
Wait, we get it from Israel. Interesting. Again, so I'm gonna circle back to my other question. If our
go ahead.
intelligence was outdated, then how on earth, if it was so bad and we can only get our intelligence from Israel for that region, how on earth were civilians able to access satellite imagery that shows exactly when the school in Manab became a school in 2018, and that the last time it was ever utilized for the military or the IRGC was 2011 and had been abandoned for 2 years before they started to convert it in 2013?
Okay, so what we're dealing here is with the previously used targets, which was previously used by the RGC, correct? Into civilian infrastructure.
15
which in
years
turn
ago.
is civilian infrastructure
15 years
into-
ago. Why is our intelligence outdated
could
by
do it today if
15
they wanted
years?
to.
Sir, I don't think you're understanding my question. So let me try rephrasing this. Are you saying that it was an oopsie, an accident that we bombed the school in Manab?
Yes, it was a tragic accident.
It was
that
an
we have bad
accident.
intel.
Cool. How do you accidentally bomb a school and not update your intelligence for 15 years with the same tiddly bits of information that civilians who have never worked in intelligence can obtain satellite imagery that shows exactly when it became a school in 2018 and was abandoned by the military in 2013? How do you
Let's say that it was
accidentally
abandoned
not
in
update your
2013.
intelligence for 15 years?
3,300 strikes took place. There's going to be a mistake
How-
made here and there. It's tragic, but it is fog of war.
How? It's not a fog of war, sir. This is actually just a
intelligence is bad, when you
disgusting
have bad
truth
intelligence,
of
you
war
think bad
that
guys
the
are
United
here.
States of America and or Israel, who you said gave us the intelligence, purposely gave us a target that was civilian infrastructure, and therefore we violated the Geneva Convention.
No, we did not violate the Geneva Convention.
Yes, we did. Targeting
Nope.
civilian infrastructure is, in fact, a violation of the Geneva Convention. I believe it's
Civilian
Article 42.
infrastructure, using civilian infrastructure for military activities turns the location into a dual-use target.
No, sir. Again, they haven't used it for military activities for 15 years. It was abandoned after 2011. They first started converting it in 2013. It became a full-fledged school in 2018. In 2016, they walled off the building. It has not been a military target, a justifiable military target since 2011. So yes,
Based
sir,
on
we
what the
absolutely
IRGC's word, civilian-
no satellite imagery of the area, sir. You can literally track everything that was happening year over year, year by year. When they emptied out the building, civilians in the United States of America could obtain this information. Journalists published it that showed the change of the building starting in 2013, when it was walled off in 2016, and when it was opened, and you could clearly see every year after 2018 that there were kids in the play yard and that it was clearly a school. So how do you accidentally bomb a school without violating the Geneva Convention?
Because it was a dual-use target.
It was not a dual-use target, sir. What on earth makes 160 school children a dual-use target to be double-tapped, which is also a fucking war crime?
If they have a dual-use target, then they've committed the war crime.
What makes it a dual-use target? Stop fucking diverting or pivoting from the question.
The RGC has used it in the past. The RG could use it.
15 years ago, you dumbass! It hasn't been used for 15 years as a dual-use target. So you're telling me that our military intelligence is just so fucking bad that we can't differentiate when it changed over the last 15 years?
We took out 2,900.
We killed 160 schoolgirls. We absolutely violated the Geneva Convention, sir. Absolutely violated the Geneva Convention. Not just once, but twice, because we double tapped the school. We didn't just hit it once, sir. With the GPS guided missile, that is accurate within inches. It's 95% accurate. 95% accurate within inches of the target. We violated the Geneva Convention because at that point we purposefully targeted something that had no longer been a military installation for 15 years, and you're just okay with that.
Alleged not to be a military target.
It is not, again, it has not been since 2018 when it was fully converted into a school. Prior to that, it had been abandoned in 2011.
I don't know what they have or don't have in that school, and neither do you.
So you have purposely chosen to be willfully uninformed when it comes to this.
No, I've told you basically everything I know about the law of war.
Yes, you have chosen to be willfully uninformed when it comes to this because you can absolutely find this information. You choose not to. You choose not to find this information because civilians and independent journalists have been able to find this information, and they have since the war started on February 28th, 2026. The information has been available to you for almost 60 days, and you have chosen to remain willfully ignorant and never looking it up over the last 60 days for almost as long as it's been available. The United States absolutely is the fucking problem in this case. We purposefully targeted. I actually find somebody like you right now who is justifying the death of 160 schoolgirls, something that is in fact a violation of the Geneva Convention, which we do recognize. The fact that we also violated it more than once because we did a double tap. We committed actual war crimes by targeting civilian infrastructure, not just in Manab, but also in Tehran, where we have bombed schools, we have bombed universities, we have bombed hospitals. All of these are civilian infrastructures, which is absolutely a violation of the ICC and the Geneva Convention. You're doing so poorly at this. I want to remind you of what your oath was, where you swore to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And I have to break it to you, sir. I hate to break it to you. Actually, I don't hate it. I enjoy breaking this to you. That would be Donald J. Trump, who is actively violating the Articles of the United States Constitution, specifically 1, 2, and 6. Even more than that, I could go on a long list. Sir, you're deplorable, and I will say that with my full chest. Okay. Ridiculous. I'm actually over people justifying that. It's back up, Fizz. You're insane. Just literally can't admit that we did it. I'm going to read through some of these. Spaghetti said, why so serious? Every time I read that, I just think of Batman. And that was Heath Ledger, right? No, that's not Heath Ledger. Fuck. I don't know actors' names. I admit that wholeheartedly. The bombs were for anti-Islamic protesters. This came in late. Like, this came in an hour ago. But I don't know what that is. I forgot that I don't read those anymore. I don't support Trump either. We are a free country. He's making fun of God's creation, sending them back to their country so mockingly as if he isn't destroying innocent families with his lawful beliefs. That's true. Leonard also said, also, wasn't he in the Epstein files committing horrendous crimes? They don't care about that. I was right. It is Heath Ledger. I'm so bad at that, honestly. Let's see. Guys, I know people are new, so they don't know my rules, but if you send anything less than $2 and you're just doing it to insult me, I'm not reading your $2 super chat. Better be 5 or more, just so you know, in order for me to read it. I don't support Trump. He involved himself to war that had been going on before I was even born. I mean, W. Shut up, all GOP MAGA twits. NPC. He called you NPCs. Thank you. We have a couple more. And no, that wasn't Placenta Guy North Side. Why is that off? There we go. Lucas said that about the, Caroline Levitt's husband, caller's favorite band, Rage Against the Machine. That was the one guy. Who is going to tell the caller that he needs to take multiple economic classes to understand what he's talking about? Nobody, because he just didn't understand. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am.
Awesome. How old are you?
I'm about 17.
Okay, well, I can't talk to you. Thank you. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? I know, Neely. It's been a minute, but you know what? Immediately approved, so that's how I know I'm not doing nothing wrong. Thank you for calling this. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
You're a kid. Please go
Hello?
do homework. Thank you for calling the stream.
You're awesome.
Hello? Okay. Hi, how are you?
Can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No.
All right. Thank
No,
you. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing great. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I am not. However, I do
I
want
appreciate
to
you.
ask, what's your stance on the Second Amendment? If you don't mind talking about it.
I believe that there could be some additional restrictions. I don't think that we, not even, actually, hold on. I think that we need to take a lot of the guns that are out there that are, let's say, antiques. And if they're antiques, they need to be put in museums. If they are over 80 years old, I don't think they should be circulating in the private world. I think people should be compensated for them, but there's no reason that we have more guns in the United States than we have civilians. But otherwise, I'm not about taking your guns. I'm just talking about the old, antiquated ones that are out there. Probably should be taken out of circulation.
Well, I mean, if they're dangerous to shoot, then I think maybe they shouldn't be shot anymore. But I still don't think we, as a government, any government should take the guns out of people's hands. That's what happens before they start to silence. They start to silence you. They start to take other rights away from you. So I think the Second Amendment is literally the foundation of all the other rights that we have. At least that's my opinion.
Yeah, you don't disarm the proletariat. So, but I'm just saying that there does need to be some restrictions on it, and I definitely believe in getting the older ones out of circulation. Put them in a museum. I think that'd be cool. Pay people to have put their families' artifacts in museums.
Yeah, I do think there should be, certain restrictions. For example, felons can't access guns, and if you're like 16, you can't buy guns, things like that. But those
18.
are, I think, those are already in place. Like universal background check is there. Felons can't have guns
Universal
already
background
there.
checks do not exist in almost every state.
Well, I think at least for as far as I know, most states, if you want to go to a gun store and buy a gun, you have to go through a background check. And in a lot of states, even if it's a private transfer, it still needs to go through an FLL, a firearms dealer, a licensed
Not in every
firearms dealer.
state. That's
You have
the
to.
like so that's why I'm saying like we do not have universal background checks in every state. There are some states
So
where you
what?
can just buy a gun at a gun show and they don't have any restrictions on it. So
So you're saying in certain states the law does not require you to file a form 4473 to purchase a firearm? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know that specific one, sir. I don't know the
Okay,
forms.
because
So
that's
if you're going to ask
the
me about
background
something
check.
specific, then no, I'm not going to have an answer for you. If you want to argue
Okay.
about guns, I gave you my position. We didn't need to go further than that, at least not in my
Yeah,
opinion, because
but
I gave you my
you did
very
say there are states. You did
there
say there are
are
states that doesn't require background check.
when you go
But
to a gun show, yeah, you can also can't buy a
I don't
shotgun
think
at
it's
18
the
in
truth
Texas, but you
anymore,
can
though.
buy,
It
oh no, you can't
might
buy
be
a
true
handgun at 18 in Texas,
years
but you
ago.
can buy a shotgun. Like, sir, there are states like Texas where you can just do almost whatever the fuck. But you're not a Trump supporter, so
I don't think that's
if
the
you
case
want
by
to
law.
debate guns, there's a great creator
Yes.
that goes live on YouTube, and you can talk to him about gun reforms. It's at cross, so the word cross, CROSS 0524. Debate him. I'm not against guns. I've made that clear. So thank you.
Okay. Well, I guess.
It's not what I said, rum runner. Great job not listening. Thank you, Mia, for the money gun. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
How
Can you hear
old
me?
are you?
I am 46 years old.
46. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Absolutely not.
All right. Well, thank you, man. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Hello, I'm Zandra. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you. Oh, no, Pippi, you just don't understand that that's not the conversation that I'm having today. I'm so, like, I don't know if you realize this, Pippi, but that was not my demographic of caller, and I already didn't disagree with him. So it was a useless conversation to have with me. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how are you?
I hate niggers and faggots.
That's a personal problem. Maybe you should get that checked out. Therapy. I heard it works great. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how are you?
Are you there?
Hello.
Hello? Why are you disrespecting Trump like that?
What did I say that was disrespectful?
Nigger.
You just know when the trolls are out. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I am there.
Awesome. How old are
I
you?
appreciate what you do.
Oh, thank you.
My name is James. I'm 42 years old. I do not support Donald J. Trump, but
Okay.
I just want to know you to know that literally what you're doing is amazing.
I appreciate that.
The last caller, at least when I was trying to call in or whatever, he said NFL. It's FFL,
FFL.
Federal Firearms License. So just to correct that, it's an FFL license, and in most states, like in Iowa, where I am, you do not have to. I can do a private purchase without an FFL, as long as, and every state's different, like you said. And I'm all for, the Second Amendment. That's fine. But like if I were to sell a gun to my uncle, I don't have to
So
do that. I don't have to have anything.
yeah, they're yeah, checks required at licensed dealers only. Yeah. So let's say, so that's checks that are only required at licensed dealers would be Alaska, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, Wisconsin, New Hampshire, Wyoming, South Dakota, Iowa, Indiana, Ohio, Utah, Nebraska, Missouri, Kentucky, West Virginia, Arizona, Kansas, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Texas, and Florida. So that's only if you have to go through licensed dealers that they require that. Sorry, I was pulling up something and I had to do it based off the state codes, and I think I did pretty good remembering the state codes and
No,
what
you
the
did.
states
You
mean.
not even kidding. And so
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk to me. I know you like kind of kick people off if they're they don't support Donald Trump, but what are your thoughts about? Did you see the 60 Minutes thing? The interview with our president?
I will say this on that one, and then I am going to let you go. A hit dog will holler.
Yeah, that's fine. It what?
A hit dog will holler.
Yeah, not even kidding.
All right.
Well, thank you for
you
your
have a good
time.
one.
I don't want to interrupt, and I love your stream. Thank you. I
Appreciate
literally
it.
it just came up on my thing, and literally I've seen it many times. So I appreciate your time.
Oh, I appreciate that. You have a good one.
You too.
Bye. Thank you for calling the stream.
You stupid nigger. Son of a bitch, I hate niggers. And you are a nigger. Every single jackass I play with is a stupid nigger.
They're doing great. Let's see. While they're trying to figure out what they're doing, if the vet is so concerned, maybe he should be shitting on the military for not investing in its infrastructure instead of spending $200 on a $5 product. That's a good point too. Oh, they finally hung up? Okay. They learned that I don't have to listen to their weirdness. That was way far away from the phone. Thank you for calling the stream. Thank you, Josh.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
18.
No, you're not. Thank you, Josh, for clearing off the gift goal. Thank you again to Mia for doing the money gun. If anyone else wants to try to light up the gift gallery, that's great. If not, I understand. We're just trying to fight through that. What just happened 14 minutes ago? 15? 15. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah.
Have a good one. Hi, how are you?
Hello, is this, are you, on a stream right now? I might have the
Yes.
wrong number.
Yes,
Hi,
that's
so I
me.
called about the Trump thing.
Yeah. How old are you?
Old enough, 14.
Nope, you're not old enough. Have a good one. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hello,
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 26.
26. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
I would say so.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I go off of whether or not a politician is improving my personal, my life rather than my personal feelings towards the person. I can agree that I don't think that Trump is a good person, is a very shitty human being, but so are most politicians, and I just would rather support the one that I feel improves my life over the one that I feel impacts it negatively.
Okay. Well, I will just let you know that I can't do anything to talk about your internal selfishness, or actually, I guess since you stated it out loud, your external selfishness, where you only care about you and yours. So enjoy that. That's perfectly
That's
fine.
not at all
But
what I
there's
said.
no,
That's
but
not at all what I
there's no
said.
conversation to be had with somebody who only cares about themselves in this regard, because there is zero convincing you. So I do hope you have a great day. All right. And I'm glad that it's benefiting you and yours. Okay.
Not what I said, but okay.
You did. You said you only care about what benefits you. There's no argument for that. If that's all that does it for you, then that's it. Just being honest. Yeah, I'm not saying feel guilty about it, but there's no conversation to be had. That was a really long chat that just came through. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Thank you for calling the stream.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you? Didn't even hang up on them. Oh, is that what Summer was paying attention to? Poor girl. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Kids. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hey, I'm a 53-year-old man, and I would hate for those kids on streams saying the N-word. Do you tell them to stop? Because it's very disrespectful. It's my black wife and my 2 black sons.
Oh, okay. Well, tell them yourself because I tell them that they're gross every time. So, oh well. In fact, I told one person, and this was a while ago, that it was pretty immature of them to spam the N-word and that it was pretty fucking dumb. That they just now do it because they think it's funny. So I can't stop them. And you're not 50 years old, you're a kid. Hi, how are you? Thank you, Rosa. Hello?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello.
Thought I'd just try to be quiet for a second. Yeah, kids, stop calling strangers on the internet. It's fucking weird. Hi. Okay, watch this. Thank you for calling the Denver Cheesecake Factory.
Thank you for calling the Denver.
Thank you for calling Domino's on 15th. How can I help you? I'm just at that point. Thank you for calling Popeyes. Thank you for calling AutoZone.
What's up, dummy?
I can't think of more stores. I'm having trouble thinking of it. But if they're just going to spam call me the kids, why don't I just go through it? Okay. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Let's see. Thank you for calling Papa John's. Thank you for calling Route 21. This is Forever 21. How can I help you? Thank you for calling Claire's.
You ain't fooling shit.
I'm sorry. Oh. Thank you for calling Creekside Mall. What apartment can I direct you to?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
They're just kids. So I don't know, Blue Magic Man. Can kids stop calling me? Here, we'll do this. $24. Are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes, very much so.
Okay, what's he done so far that's earned your continued support?
I work blue collar and I work in the construction industry, and I over the last year, I've witnessed many illegal aliens come into the construction industry and push many coworkers and many of the local people that are working these jobs get pushed out because these illegal aliens work super cheap. You don't have to pay them. They don't need insurance, and it kind of sucks because I'm a hardworking person, and this is my livelihood. This is what I need to do. And he's putting a stop to it. I respect him for that, because at the end of the day, if an illegal alien comes and takes my job, my wife, my soon-to-be children are screwed. I have no income. I'm not going to sit behind a desk. That's not what I do.
Whoa, that was super loud. My bad for everybody.
What do you have to say to that?
They took our jobs! They took our jobs!
Nothing productive to say instead of just pairing random audio.
It's not random audio, it's from South Park. I'm glad you couldn't identify that one at all. But no, so listen, I will absolutely agree. I will absolutely agree. I will absolutely agree. I will absolutely agree that yes, immigrants do affect the construction industry. There is no question in that. That is true. Unfortunately, that is on the companies that choose to hire them. And I don't understand why no one in this administration, including the Department of Justice, is actually suing the companies that are actively going out of their way to hire undocumented immigrants and violating multiple laws that were passed in 1996, specifically the IIRIA of 1996 and the PRWORA of 1996. So can you tell me why, if the Department of Justice and Donald Trump and DHS were so concerned about the hiring of undocumented immigrants by construction companies, why the construction companies themselves that are hiring them aren't being fined or looked at for having hired undocumented immigrants? That's actually affecting you. Instead of them just being available to work, we should be looking at the companies.
Well, it's not even the big companies. It's these little residential home builders that come in and they build these houses that families have to live in. And in 2 years from now, these Mexicans that don't know what they're doing, these houses are falling apart, and now these families are all out of their homes. Trump has been removing these people from job sites.
Okay.
ICE goes
So
in,
why aren't we
removes them.
why aren't we fining the companies that are hiring them in order to
they
actually, they're not. You just agreed.
That's
Cool. Show me. Give me a case where they fined a company for hiring them. Because the only way you cut it off is you actually fine the people, you penalize the individuals that are causing the problem. Immigrants existing aren't causing the problem. The reason why the problem persists is because of the availability of these jobs on the market for them to work. And if companies stop offering those jobs or stops hiring them, then that would be cutting it off at the head, because they're the ones that are causing the issue. So,
but if we stop letting them into the country and forcefully remove them like we are, then
how do you stop somebody from
access.
crossing through non-ports of entries when they're not seen?
They cross illegally. We
Correct. So how do you stop them?
Build a better wall.
And people are still crossing the border.
Build a bigger wall.
How do you? Sorry. How many miles are across the southwest border?
Who cares? You know how much money the
No,
US
actually,
makes
this
in a
is
year?
quite important. Oh, now we're going to something else. I actually preferred it when your wife was screaming at me in the background. That would have been better. Anyway, so now you're like moving the conversation. So that's fine. I'll go ahead and help you out. There's 1,943, give or take a little bit, of miles with the southwest border. The reason why this is actually important is because about, and I might be wrong, but last time I checked, it's about 500 miles are private property. And if the United States government actually says build a wall across all of it, they literally can't on that 500 miles of private property. If they were going to claim eminent domain, they then have to offer value and pay every single person that owns that private property, but they can still refuse to sell that property to the government because they can. It does require compensation according to the United States Constitution. So no, it's not as simple as building the wall. Also, with building the wall, we have demonstrably harmed the environment. We've demonstrably harmed the migration patterns of animals, which is again harming the environment and hurting us and hurting our ecosystem. So yes, building a wall is great, but you can get ladders. Ladders go up really high. We have already video evidence of a 6-year-old climbing the wall within 30 seconds. I know, Pookie. I guess his wife made him hang up. So, again, I did prefer it when she was screaming in the background at me because she didn't like me playing South Park. Listen, like, I gotta be honest, all right? I didn't actually go through and watch South Park until, like, I moved in with Polly. And that's basically the first time that I actually watched South Park for real. But even I knew the voices of South Park going, they took our jobs, because it's been around for so long. I think that came out in, actually, I'm curious. What date is this? Oh, this one's from 2017. But they've been doing it since way before then. But I've known that one for a long time. So, but I would still love, like, guys, honest to God, here is my real take. Okay? Yes, undocumented immigrants affect the construction field. Absolutely. There is no denying that. Okay? The best way to actually end this, right, is if we go after the companies that are willing to hire them and we actually penalize them for doing the hiring, actively employing them. It was also very racist of the last guest to specifically say Mexicans, because apparently all Latinos look the same, according to him, because they're just all Mexican. Good job showing your racism. That's great. You're doing great. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Hi. How old are you?
I'm 19.
Sus. Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there?
I heard you talking about a 6-year-old climbing a wall in.
I don't know who this is, but I already just don't trust the voice. So, yeah. I guess I need to go back to doing this. Hold on. Where's the good one? You have reached Rosa's Flower Shop. Please leave a message after the tone. Beep. It might have been an 8-year-old, but this happened a while ago. TikTok be TikToking. Oh, was it good on that one? Cool. Thank you for calling the stream.
Hi, sorry, I just called a minute ago and I said that I was 19 and you hung up. I'm just kind of confused because
Sorry, you.
Vote, so I'm not.
Sorry, your voice doesn't sound like you're 19, and I do
I
understand
know.
that women already
I
have
know,
like
I
a
get that
higher
a
pitch
lot.
voice, so. Okay.
Yeah, I know, I get that a lot. It's okay.
All right, no problem. Okay, are you still supporting Donald Trump?
Yes.
Date of birth, go.
2007. Oh, my whole birthday or the year?
See, that's why even I knew at a very young age how to give my date of birth. That's what that means. If I wanted your birth year, that's all I would say. What year were you born? Thank you for calling the stream. Are you there? Hi, how old are you?
Yeah, I'm 42. I just called in a little bit ago. I just wanted to talk about the whole Hispanic thing because I work in a factory. I'm blue collar. just like the other guy that said construction, I don't work in construction, but I work in a beef plant. Literally, I work in a plant that is 300 employees. I would say about 85 to 90% are Hispanic, right? And literally, unfortunately, a lot of them are illegal.
How do you
I
know? Did
have
you ask
called
them for
them
all their
in.
have you asked them for all their papers?
Yes, and no, well, not
Oh.
no. I haven't asked all of them, but
Oh,
I
so you're just
know
making a
because there
broad-based
are certain
assumption
people.
based off
No,
of a
no, no. I am not.
generalization because you've asked
Listen,
one person who said
hear
that
me
they
out.
may or may not be undocumented, so therefore 90 to 80,
No.
85 to 90% of them are automatically undocumented immigrants. Yes, you are making a
So the
generalization when you say
biggest,
something like that. There is only
the
one way you can
biggest.
know if
No,
they
no, no.
are.
Listen to me. I am literally a Democrat. Well, I actually have no party affiliation. But what I'm saying is that like friends of mine, and I love these people. I speak Spanish. Habla español o no? I speak Spanish every single day. I love these people. Like literally, many of them are my friends. But I have seen ICE hit one at a time, and
Damn,
it's
he got me
boom, boom,
flagged on
boom,
TikTok
boom,
for
boom.
hateful behavior.
Like my friends, and I don't even know if they're. This is what gets me, is that there's a person that is now deported. His name was Alberto, and literally when he came back to work, we came back to the same job. He was doing his job, I was doing mine at the same plant, and his name was Alberto. Then now all of a sudden you can't call him Alberto anymore. I was told this by white people that said you cannot call him Alberto anymore. Now his name is Frankie. So there is deception, is what I'm saying. These
Then
little
you just
companies.
then all I can tell you is you just keep reporting them. And if people aren't doing anything, then again, it's the fault of the government where you're at. They're violating the laws from
Absolutely. And that's
1996. Then fucking call somebody,
absolutely.
sir. I can't help you,
And
but yes, it is a
that's what I'm
racist
telling
trope
you
to
is
say
that
that they're all it is racist to just be like 85 to 90% of them are illegal based off of your own assumption. And I think that that is not a
okay,
good
well
thing.
literally
So,
I've lived in, not even kidding, a town, the biggest government raid for ICE was in 2008 in Postville, Iowa. And that is where all these people are from. And I'm not saying, I don't care. I think that there should be a path. I want these people here. They're hard workers. That guy that said that he was in construction said that they're not working hard. No, they are. They're working hard. They're doing a lot more than you think. And they are
I
great
don't
people.
disagree
And like
with
I said,
you.
I speak Spanish every single day. And my native language is obviously English. And I'm not putting down Hispanic people at all. I'm just saying that they're given the wrong side of this, is that even if they are or aren't, I don't care. I want them to be here because they're doing a hell of a lot more than people sitting on their butts and going, oh, well, I'm disabled, when you can obviously work. There are people that literally are just taking our stuff, and the Republicans are, and like again, I said, I'm no party affiliation, but there are people that are saying, oh yeah, you're lazy, you're doing, there are so many people that can work.
Can I
And they
ask you a
don't.
question?
Because, oh, I can get disability. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Do you believe that there are disabilities that you can't see with your eye by looking at someone?
Absolutely, I have one.
Cool. Don't ever say that about people again because you don't know their situation. I find that
No, I
actually
understand that.
insulting.
No, I'm saying personally, I know that I have epilepsy. You can't see
Okay.
that by the eye,
And I
right?
qualify for
And
a fucking handicap plate, so I just choose not to get one.
I'm not even kidding. And I wouldn't see that with the eye. And I totally agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. But I'm saying that I know personally that there are people that I personally know, and it's not very many because I don't know that many people. I'm
I
just
think it's
saying, I
odd.
know that they're using the system,
Sure, then
and
report
that's
them. I don't know what
what
to
I'm
tell you
saying.
on other than report them. If you truly believe that they're abusing the system, then you report them. Because otherwise, I don't like most people that I know that have any kind of disability, they don't tell people that they have a disability. They don't go into exact details about how they're on disability or anything like that unless somebody questions them and then they have to justify it. So, yes, invisible disabilities exist. You've acknowledged one, that is epilepsy. It only becomes visible when you are having an episode, right? That is what they are called, right?
Absolutely.
Episodes when you have
Yes.
seizures. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Just making sure, didn't want to say it wrong. So you acknowledge that. I'm just saying be careful with your words because it's
No,
some of the
and
phrases
I'm
that you
glad
have
that you're
used are
clarifying.
not the best
You're
choice of
not
phrasing.
incorrect for what you did, because that is true. You're right, and we have to be careful with our words. And I just again appreciate what you're doing. I'm just
Yeah.
wanting to clarify certain things, and not even kidding. I think that this is a productive conversation, not a destructive conversation.
Okay. Well,
And I just really didn't like the Mexican thing either, and that's why I called back in. And I work with Latinos and Latinas every day, todos los días. Es muy importante. Lengua es muy importante para mí y para ti. So, I do that every day, and I want people to know that I'm a United States citizen. I was naturally born here, in Minnesota, and literally I have known and worked with so many people from so many different countries that it's ridiculous, because obviously there are so many people. My great grandmother came through Ellis Island. That's cool. Give us your
yes,
what is
the
it?
Statue of Liberty, and
It
give us
says it
you're
on there.
tired, you're weary,
Yes,
blah 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 blah.
absolutely. That's
I can't quote
cool,
that
but
one
we need to be
verbatim,
doing.
so I'm gonna
You're fine.
listen.
All right.
No, you're
You
fine.
have
I
a good
just I'm
night.
I'm
Thank
over
you.
my time, so I do need to shouldn't have taken
Yep.
another call, but
Yep,
I was
you're
just
fine.
trying.
Thank
But
you
okay.
again for what you do. You're very important.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You have a good one. Bishop, in response to that, I don't know if I know you guys can't read lips, but I said as opposed to artificially. Something like that, Bishop. That I literally was like as opposed to artificially. That was pretty funny. I like that one. Let's see. Corey, thank you for the GG. I appreciate that. There are Christian nationalists, everybody, pure evil, absolutely despicable. I wonder how you keep your cool Ari as much as you do with these absolute trash of humanity. I don't know, but I appreciate the 10. And I'm not so glad I'm not MAGA, because girl, damn. Thank you, Heavensley. I always say that wrong. I do appreciate you. I do need to slow down. Okay. Where can we send people? That was fun having to, well, hold on. So I'm going to say goodnight over to you guys on YouTube. Friendly reminder to hit that subscribe or that follow button, depending on which platform you are on. There you go. Thank you, JRG. So good night over on YouTube.